Tonight's special guest is motivational speaker John Shackleton, the author of the book Life is for Living. John is a classic baby boomer at 57 and says he knows one way to prove that life is for living: swim Cook Strait. We welcome John Shackleton as our special guest on The Beat Goes On. John Shackleton, welcome to The Beat Goes On.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Yeah, our first show for 2012. Gosh, you know, it was only 12 years ago we were celebrating the millennium, weren't we?
Well, it was a while ago, wasn't it?
How quickly time goes. But we're not here to discuss the millennium, are we, John? We're here to discuss the fact that you're a classic baby boomer and you're doing something quite wonderful. Swim Cook Strait.
Right.
Is it 23 kilometres?
26.
26 kilometres.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you
it's
mad
a long way.
Are you mad, John?
Completely and totally nuts, yes.
Okay, now let's start at the beginning. You've obviously, you weren't born in New Zealand, were you?
No, I'm British.
Yeah, you're British.
Yeah.
And where were you born in England?
I was born in London, lived most of my life in the Midlands or just outside London. Came here 9.5 years ago, so came here to retire.
Really?
Stupid thing, yeah.
Is that true?
And then now I'm working harder than I've ever worked. So, yeah.
And you're a good classic baby boomer. You're born in 1954,
That's
so
right, yeah.
you're on a baby boomer chat show.
Yes, yeah, good stuff.
Look, we're just proud to have you. A 57-year-old that is going to swim Cook Strait, and I mean that's a lesson to all of us, isn't it? All us guys that sit on the couch every night and flick through the television channels and put on the weight.
I must make it clear, I'm going to attempt to swim Cook Strait. Nobody says I'm going to climb Mount Everest. They say I'm going to attempt to climb it. I've been a swimmer all my life, competitive swimmer all my life, but my events have all been sprint events, 100 metres, 200 metres, 50 metres. And a friend of mine who is a great open water swimmer, Al Hulbert, said he was going to make an attempt on the Straits this year. Would I do some of the training with him? Because it takes an enormous amount of training. So I said, yes, I'll do some. And then I thought, well, why would you do the training and not do the swim? So I gave it some thought, a lot of thought, and eventually said, yeah, I'll actually do the attempt with him as well. So we make the attempt on somewhere between the 27th of March and the 3rd of April.
It's a nice little window there. The tides are going to be good, and hopefully the weather's going to be good.
We can't control any of those things, but there are 10 tide windows a year, and that just happens to be the one we've been given. People come from all over the world to attempt Cook Strait, and they can be here for 2 weeks, and the weather is just not right for them. Or they may even start the swim, and the weather deteriorates, and they have to be pulled out. So there's a huge amount riding on the weather.
But you're not on your own, are you? You've got a whole support team, you've got
absolutely,
a boat.
Yeah. There's a couple of boats, there's a big launch, there's a small RIB with us, and some people will be there looking after us on the day. Hopefully not the Westpac helicopter.
So in the end you'll swim 26 kilometres.
Yeah,
26
about.
Yeah, and it's going to take 7 to 10 hours.
Somewhere between 7 and 10, yeah, we think.
And you can stop along the way, you have a refreshment stop?
We stop every half an hour for something to eat and something to drink, because I think you'd probably die if you didn't do that. You can imagine how boring it's going to be, 7 hours stopping every 14 half-hour swims. It's with a 30-second break in between. Not exactly
30-second break?
Yeah, as little as possible.
Now you've done the training, haven't you? You've done the training. So tell us about the training regime. What have you been doing?
For the last, for the last 8 months we've been swimming up to 50 kilometres a week, which is 10, 12, 14 hours a week in the pool and maybe 2 or 3 hours in the sea. Massive amounts of... This was why I had to think about the idea before I said yes, because the commitment is just huge. I'm trying to do that and run a business, and I have 2 young children at the same time, so trying to fit that amount in is enormous.
Is this the fittest you've ever been?
Yeah, without doubt.
You're really feeling good?
I've been to World Championships, World Masters Championships for the sprint events, but I've never been as fit as I am right now. I'm not very fast, but I can swim forever at the moment.
Now, the other hazards, of course, let's look at the hazards. They say that 1 in every 6 swimmer gets a visit by a shark.
Yeah, that's the statistic. I'm not sure whether we would actually see that.
Yeah.
But Philip Rush, who takes us across, Philip Rush he's the guru of open water swimming in New Zealand. He will be able to see around us, and apparently statistics say that 1 in 6 swimmers gets a visit. Apparently they're just curious. I'm going to have a little arrow painted on my chest which says, He's much tastier than me.
What about the cold? Tell us about the cold. It's the day you do the swim. Are you going to do the Jared Smith trick and put your toe in the water and go, ooh, or are you going to dive straight in?
No, I'd say the best way is to get in quickly. It is cold, but the best way is to go in quickly. It's still only at about 15 or 16 degrees. We did a big race in Taupo, in Lake Taupo quite recently, and that was at 18 degrees. And I've swum in 17 and 18, so I know I can survive that quite easily. In fact, you don't get cold at that.
And you can wear a wetsuit.
No
wetsuit.
Oh, I could wear a wetsuit. It makes it phenomenally easier, but it wouldn't count as an official crossing if I did. So.
Oh, okay. Now, what about packing all that grease on your body?
We would cover ourselves with a bit of grease. That does tend to keep your kidneys and your internal organs a little bit warmer, but in essence you've got to work. That's the whole problem. You have to work hard enough to stay warm, but not too hard that you don't get exhausted. It's a very fine balance in between.
Now, John, you're not just doing this for John Shackleton, you're doing it for a charity. So tell us about the charity that's going to benefit from you swimming the Strait.
Autism Foundation, who help families that have autism in their family. There's a competition running alongside the swim where people guess how long I'll be in the water, and they can win a holiday for two in Fiji, which is at the Mana Resort Island Hotel, which is a fantastic place. So a holiday for two, including the flights and 5 nights accommodation. So. And
where do we find out about the competition?
At the website, which is bigswim.co.nz.
Excellent.
Yeah. And that competition, people need to enter that as quickly as they can so they can get on board and go into it.
And you've had some great sponsors, haven't you? Really good sponsors.
A couple of people have been very, very helpful in helping us do all of this. Jones Lang LaSalle, which is a wonderful real estate company that one of my clients have been very helpful in helping to absorb some of the costs. That it costs a lot of money to do this swim because of all the support and stuff that goes on. And also Turners and Growers are helping us as well. So yes, fantastic work by those sponsors too. We'll
just change the subject a slight bit here, because you are a personal motivator, aren't you? And you have a company called JohnShackleton.com.
My background is sports psychology, so I understand about how we motivate ourselves. So the presentations I give in the corporate world are all about how a manager works with their team to get them motivated, or how an individual motivates themselves. So I understand the theory of motivation. I think one of the challenges with all of this is once I was committed to doing it, I don't think motivation is the problem. I think it's overcoming fear that's the major problem. And it doesn't matter how much motivation you've got. If the fear's too big, you just won't do anything.
Now, John, what we have here is Life is for Living, and really it's a wonderful, well, is it a booklet or a book?
Well, it's a book. Yeah, it's a best-selling book, actually.
By John Shackleton?
Yep, it's sold over 12,000 copies, which is good.
Wonderful.
I actually wrote it for the baby boomers, funnily enough.
Yeah.
I was sick to death of people saying to me, well, it's all right for you, John, you're fit and healthy, but I'm a bit older now, so I need to slow down. So
you get fat at the supermarket?
Absolutely. You do, because it's the choices you make in the food that you buy that make you get fat.
That's one chapter I'm going to be reading with great interest.
My favourite chapter in there is, the title of it is The Quick and Easy Way to Health and Fitness. Yeah. And there's only one sentence in the whole chapter. It says, there isn't one, stop looking for it.
Well, look, we've got 5 of these. Yep. We've got 5 of these to give away. And we need a question, John. I have built a website specifically about the swim.
Yes. So I'd like to know from people, what would that website be? What's the title of that website? It has all the information, has a competition on there. We need a clue, John. How about giving us the title? A clue might be www.bigswim.co.nz. That's a clue. There's the clue. All you have to do is email Jared at The Beat Goes On, and in the subject line put bigswim.co.nz. Also, please have a look at the website and find out what John is doing. And we'll pick 5. And 5 lucky viewers will win
Life is for living. Good on you, John. We're
Thank
proud of you. You're a baby boomer, and this is what the whole show was about, was to let New Zealand know that whether you've got a mountain to climb, a CD to make, a book to write, or a strait to cross, baby boomers are in there doing it. So, John, we're going to see you when you come back, and tell us all about how.
I will do, promise.